recording has started now. So I was speaking about how Logsign USO platform exactly differentiates here. So let me explain you about it. So as I mentioned just now, Logsign USO platform has the capabilities of a next-gen SIEM, threat intelligence, UEBA, threat detection, investigation, and response, which makes it a unified whole platform. Apart from that, you'll also see during the demo that this platform that we are offering is very easy to use. It is a user-friendly platform. If you speak about the deployment of the solution, you need to also see, apart from being user-friendly, the deployment that you're doing for a solution should be hassle-free. So here, Logsign can be deployed not in weeks, but in days, because all the assistance will be provided by our global customer experience team in order to do the deployment with minimum effort required from your side. You'll also see that the solution is really fast because Logsign USO platform is a Hadoop embedded solution, and we are using one of the fastest search tools which is available in the industry right now, so that you can write your queries, you can do correlation and get results out of millions of events in milliseconds. And the most important factor here is that we are offering a completely stress-free sizing with no hidden costs, which means, unlike other vendors out there in the industry, we have absolutely no limit on the number of the log sources that you can integrate with Logsign, and no limit on the amount of the EPSR platform can handle. So we are completely having a feature-based licensing approach. Let's see how exactly the Logsign USO platform works. So you can see the Logsign USO platform sits at the heart of your security operations center, which means that all your existing SOC tools like your network devices, on-prem applications, applications which are hosted on the cloud, any kind of attack simulation tools, operating system, databases, security system, and all, they can be integrated seamlessly with the Logsign USO platform. And the platform's automation and orchestration capabilities that comes from our SOAR experience are involved at every stage of detection, investigation, and response processes, which means that it will help you to eradicate and mitigate threats and vulnerabilities in real time. That will help you to reduce your mean time to detect and the mean time to respond. Let us see what are the features and capabilities offered on the Logsign USO platform. As I mentioned, that this platform comes with the capabilities of log management that will fulfill the requirement of your customers. For a SIEM solution with this platform, you also get reporting and compliance capabilities. You also get the threat intelligence platform. You get incident response, threat detection, automation, and orchestration, along with incident case management. As I mentioned, this comes from our SOAR experience, where you can use the same platform in order to deal with any kind of threat and vulnerability or attack, and you can perform or semi-automated actions in order to deal with any kind of threats and vulnerabilities. Now, this platform also has threat detection capabilities, as I mentioned, where you can see we offer 500 plus built-in correlation rules, which are offered out of the box, and then 200 plus alert tools in order to identify any kind of vulnerability, any kind of threat out of the box that they are offered. And we offer 200 plus alert tools, which are in line with MITRE ATT&CK and cybersecurity framework. And with all these, you get a high level of security analytics for different categories, dashboards like 100 plus dashboards for different categories like identity management, network analytics, analytics related to threat intelligence, database, and file integrity monitoring use cases can be also fulfilled. And with all these, you have the capabilities of creating any custom dashboards based on your requirement. So when I say that the Logsign USO platform seamlessly integrates with all your existing SOC tools, how exactly we are able to achieve this? We are able to achieve this using 500 plus predefined integrations, out of which we offer 400 plus log collection integrations and 100 plus response integrations, so that you can integrate seamlessly with Logsign. And 100 plus response integrations can be used in order to perform any kind of fully automated action, which means that from the Logsign USO platform itself, for any kind of alert, you can perform fully automated actions like you can block or unblock an IP on the firewall, you can shut down a computer, you can reboot a computer, you can kill a process, you can delete a file, you can enable network isolation. All these using the response integrations on the Logsign USO platform. And with Logsign, since Logsign is a Hadoop embedded solution, it brings some advantages, and it also has a scalable architecture for horizontal as well as for vertical scalability. Say, for instance, you have a system which has 5,000 EPS. So the EPS amount can change, which means it can increase or it can decrease. So you can always scale the architecture with Logsign as and when needed. So in case if it increases from 5,000 to 10,000 or 15,000, Here, in this case, you can easily add new nodes and servers to scale the architecture to handle more EPS amounts. And also, as vertical, you can have role-based or service-based scalable architecture. Something like having first node for collecting events, the second one for monitoring, the third node for detection, the fourth node for response. So you can always scale the architecture up to enterprise-grade scalability with Logsign very easily. And then you can use the platform's high availability active-active plus architecture for mission-critical projects. With this, you get long-term data storage anytime. You get advanced data retention for hot and cold data anytime that is completely customizable, that will fulfill your requirement for any kind of local government policies related to data retention, data management, or any kind of data sovereignty. And then it is really fast and simple to deploy the solution on hybrid environments as well. And in case if you plan to deploy the solution in a distributed network, you get high-capacity data collectors called as Logsign Leaf. Let's consider Logsign as a tree. So you can simply deploy the Logsign leaves for the remote offices of your customers. Here, the Logsign leaves will collect the events from the remote offices and in a fully encrypted manner, and then send it to the Logsign USO platform that will be deployed at the headquarters. Filtering the data and reducing noise with data policy managers is very easy with Logsign. And here you also get the demo mode. So this is a simulation mode of Logsign, where we offer 400 plus built-in data collection integrations available in simulation mode, which means that even before integrating the device or the log source, you can simply enable it from the demo mode and see how the normalization is done, what kind of events are generated, what kind of dashboard tools can be created. So this gives you the opportunity to see how the normalization is done in Logsign, how the device which you are planning to integrate with Logsign will work. You can see it everything from the Logsign simulation mode. That's the demo mode. Let's talk about the log management capabilities. As I mentioned earlier, we offer 400 plus predefined data collection integrations and 100 plus predefined detection and response integrations. And in case if you don't see the kind of integration that you're looking for in our library, you really don't have to worry about it, because our product team can help you to create custom parsers for it. And then with Logsign, you get advanced parsing and indexing techniques, and it is really easy to work with normalized and classified data. And once the data is normalized, you can do the data manipulation and modification manually. And here for log management, we are offering 11 different integration methodologies so that you can read from any of your applications which are hosted on the cloud using APIs. You can integrate your Windows system so that you can collect events from Microsoft Event Viewer for workstations and servers. You can read from the logs from your databases, from files and folders. So we offer 11 different integration methodologies so that you can do seamless integration with the Logsign USO platform. And then threat detection and investigation is really easy with Logsign. As I mentioned, we are using one of the fastest search tools which is available in the industry right now, which is supported again with all these features where you get details related to the artifacts. You'll be able to see the risk score. You can see attackers' origin along with the map and names of the countries. So using the search feature, you can do a drill down full text advanced analysis search, and it will respond to queries in millisecond. You can investigate correlated and enriched data. You can do threat hunting for hidden threats, IOCs and IOAs. You can do validation of threat levels, incident triage, along with the forensic investigation as well. And all this, as I mentioned before, in line with MITRE-ATT&CK and cyber kill chain framework, along with risk scoring. Let's see how exactly the enrichment and advanced correlation is done in the Logsign USO platform. So what we understand is that you get all the information on any platform. However, it is more important to get the information in a readily available way so that it can help you to do some kind of comprehensive lookup. So we are using different enrichment techniques here in order to provide you more information. As you can see, we are using asset and identity enrichment. We are using geolocation and position services to provide you more information related to the location. We are using context and custom enrichment along with behavior enrichment and threat intelligence feeds. And then we also have network position services along with instant data processing. So what exactly does it mean? Let me show you an example here. So from the firewall, you can just see the IP interface details. However, it is not enough for you to make a detailed and comprehensive lookup. So here we are enriching the data here in a form where it can show you the username and hostname matching the IP address on our platform. The other information that you see here is coming from the geolocation. Position is coming from the network services. active directory username coming from the instant data processing, and you can also see the behavior related information coming from the behavior analytics capabilities of Logsign. And also, in case if this IP has been matched in threat intelligence, you will also see an intelligence column here. So this gives you an opportunity to do comprehensive lookout for any of the information or even made available on our platform. Here, all this enrichment is supported using correlation rules. We provide 500 plus predefined correlation rules that are offered out of the box using different methods like cross correlations, historical, rule-based behavior, vulnerability-based, and more, with an option to create any custom correlation rule based on your requirement. Then we are also offering the threat intelligence platform. We have integrated our threat intelligence platform on the USO platform, where you get information related to TI insights in real time. So we have more than 7 years of experience in threat intelligence, and we are using 40 plus well-trusted global TI feeds and provide you information related to TI insights related to threats in real time. And you also get the user entity and behavior analytics on our platform that can help you to fulfill any of the use cases which are listed here. You can see it helps you to prevent botnet infection, detect risky user, identify any of the insider malicious threat actors, stop data exfiltration. There are many use cases which we can talk about. If you speak about the UEBA here, the UEBA is really easy with Logsign. You only need to integrate your LDAP servers. And once the LDAP servers are integrated, Logsign will collect all the information related to your users and the assets, and based on their behaviors, you will see the total users will appear here, the user urgency. You can see the risk trend for the last 1 week. You can see the present risk score, the total risk score, and the risk trend, whether it is increasing or it is decreasing. Apart from that, as I mentioned, you get 100 plus dashboards out of the box so that you can see analytics for different categories. And then apart from that, it is also easy to customize and configure new dashboards. Using powerful wizards, we offer 24 different wizards in order to create custom dashboards. Here you have the delegation option available, so role-based access control that can be done by admins so that you can decide what team member will perform what action and will have what kind of access to the features of the platform, so that you can assign different roles for different team members to manage different things on the platform using the role-based access. And then we've got the dynamic search filters here, using which you can drill down, search on dashboards, and you can filter the dashboard with customizable timeframes. And the incident case management offered on our platform. So here you can see that the Logsign USO platform offers incident management, which is in line with the NIST incident response framework. So at every stage of the incident management, you will see what stage you are on based on the actions that will be performed on the incidents. So within the incidents, you'll get a lot of information like the artifacts, assets, and identity related information for an incident. You can see the incident timeline, incident summary, and detailed views. Along with this, you get visual cards that will help you with the investigation, detection, and response capabilities. And incident response, as I mentioned, that here the platform offers you the capability to perform fully automated or semi-automated actions. So all you have to do is complete the integrations for a response tool that you have available at your infrastructure. And then you can define your own action rules in order to perform fully automated actions in order to deal with any kind of threat, vulnerability, or attack. Apart from that, there could be some incidents where any kind of manual intervention is required, where you can generate the incidents, and then your security operations center teams or the analysts can perform the actions for those incidents based on their analysis using the semi-automated actions using the quick action button. As you can see here, if you've integrated VirusTotal with the Logsign USO platform, from the Logsign USO platform itself, you can perform these actions. You can check the IP reputation. You can check the URL reputation. Similarly, if you have integrated your firewall with the Logsign USO platform as a part of response integrations, from the Logsign USO platform, in order to deal with any kind of threat or vulnerability, you can perform fully automated or semi-automated actions so that you can block or unblock an IP on the firewall. You can block or unblock a URL. Or if you have integrated your EDR, you can perform actions like you can shut down a computer, you can reboot a computer, you can kill a process, you can delete a file, you can enable network isolation. You can perform all these actions in a fully automated or semi-automated manner from the Logsign USO platform. Speaking about the reporting and compliance, you get hundreds of bulletin reports which are in line with different compliance purposes like GDPR, PCI DSS, ISO 27001, HIPAA, GLBA, SOX, and more. Apart from that, it is really easy to create and configure new reports You can create a report and export it to your system in second. You can use built-in compliance report. And if you are sending reports on a regular basis to any of your executive management team or your SOC analyst or any other stakeholders, you can use the automated and scheduled reports option so that you can set the reports to be sent through scheduled email in a regular way, so that you can send reports on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And then it is also possible to create ad hoc reports for executive reporting purposes. And even here, the role-based access control can be done by admins. As I mentioned, you can assign different roles for your team members to manage different things on the platform. So it all starts with the data collection, enrichment, and ends with the response integrations and performing fully automated and semi-automated actions in Logsign. And in line with that, it also helps you with any of your compliance purposes. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions, or we can jump to the product demo. Evelina, are there any questions, or we can jump to the product demo?
I think we can jump to the product.
Okay. Thank you so much for confirming. So as I mentioned during the presentation, that the first thing that you need to also consider when you procure a solution for your organization, or maybe a solution that you recommend to your customers, you need to ensure that the solution should be deployed easily. And here with Logsign, as I mentioned, you only need a dedicated server, and you can install the solution using a single ISO file that contains a complete installer package, and that can be downloaded from our support portal that is accessible to all our partners and end customers as well. So once the solution is installed, you need to simply start with integration of the log sources. So data collection integration and integration of log sources is really easy with Logsign USO platform. You can see some of the log sources which are integrated on my platform here. You just have to click on the option to add the device, and here is where you can see 11 different integration methodologies that are offered by Logsign. For network and security devices, we mostly use the syslog integration. Here is where you can see 400 plus built-in data collection integrations offered on our platform. So all you have to do is simply select the name of the vendor, and then you will see a list of their products. You select the product, provide the IP address, give a device name, click on save, and the integration will be completed on the Logsign USO platform. And as I mentioned during the presentation, okay, in case if you don't see the kind of integration that you're looking for, if you want to create a plugin by yourself, you can simply select the option to create a plugin. You can select the parse method. You can parse using the rule, using regular expressions, multiple rule, key value, JSON, W3C, and more. And again, our product team will be always available to help you to develop any kind of custom passes that will be required. If you want to integrate any of your applications which are hosted on the cloud so that you can collect the logs from there, you can use the API integration. So these are some of the out-of-the-box integrations that are offered on our platform for Office 365 management. You can see Google Workspace, you have ForcePoint, Blue Code, Sophos, SentinelOne, Tina, Cloudflare, they are all there. And if your customers are using PostgreSQL, SAP, or IBM DB2, you can use JDBC with an API to complete the integration. If you want to collect logs from your databases, you can simply use the MSSQL and Oracle integration and provide the credentials in order to collect the logs from your databases. If you want to read from a file or a folder, you can use SFTP or SMB share based on the operating system. And for an agentless integration to collect events from Microsoft Event Viewer for workstations and servers, you can use the WMI integration. And then in case if you want to collect network activities for different network devices using different flow types, you can use the NetFlow integration. And you can use File Orbis and GTB in case if you want to collect activities and logs related to file management. I also spoke about the Logsign Leaf during my presentation. So if you deploy Logsign Leaf at a remote office of your customer and you want to collect the logs from there, you want to collect the events, you can simply use the Logsign Leaf integration, provide the IP address of the Logsign Leaf, give a device name, click on save, and the integration will be completed. So this is how the data collection works. I also spoke about the demo mode. So this is the demo mode which is offered by the Logsign USO platform. So here is where you can see 400 plus devices which are made available in the demo mode. So what's the use case for it? So you're using a Fortinet firewall and you want to change it to checkpoint. You can simply come here, enable checkpoint. So even before integrating the checkpoint device on the Logsign USO platform will start generating sample logs so that you can see what kind of events are generated. how the normalization is done, how the categorization is done, what dashboard rules can be created. You can see everything even before integrating the device here. Okay. So I would like to show you the second part, that is the response integration. This is where we offer the response capabilities. So you can see we offer 100+ response integrations made available out of the box for different categories and different devices like EDRs, DLPs, firewall, IDS, IPS, NAC, databases, and more. And all the integrations that are done here are using the APIs. We are following an API approach integration here. So these integrations will help you to perform fully automated or semi-automated actions. Okay, let me show you Aruba. So if you're using Aruba virus controller, you can simply provide the information related to that solution that you're using, the API details, and once this is integrated with Logsign, you can perform all these actions in a fully or semi-automated manner from the Logsign USO platform. You can delete an endpoint by ID, you can delete an endpoint by MAC, you can delete an external account, you can delete a guest account. Or as I was mentioning about EDRs, if I'm using TrapMine, configuration is really easy. You can see you only need to provide the API information. And once this is integrated with Logsign from the Logsign USO platform, you can perform all these actions. You can reboot a computer, you can shut down a computer, you can kill a process, you can kill a thread, you can delete a file, you can enable network isolation. All these actions can be performed. And for any specific alert, you want to send a message to a mail to your team members, you simply provide the SMTP server details here, and then you can see it on the email. And then if you have subscribed for an SMS gateway, you can also configure SMS here and start sending SMS to your team members for any alert. You can also integrate your Telegram and start sending messages to your team members on Telegram. If you have integrated Microsoft Teams, you can also send messages to your team members on Teams. So this is how you can perform fully automated and semi-automated actions using the response integrations. Okay. So once the data collection integration is done, you can see all the events coming from your different log sources on our platform. You can presently see there are more than 3 million events on my platform during this day duration. If you want to filter the events, you can simply select the duration. Maybe you want to see the events only for the last 3 hours. Just select the duration, click on apply, and you can see the events are filtered based on the duration which I've selected. You can select the durations of the last 6 hours, 12 hours, today, yesterday, last 3 days, last week, or even last month. If you want to filter the events, you can simply select the date and time between which you want to filter the events here. And here, I would definitely like to inform you that we are using one of the fastest search tools which is available in the industry right now. And here, the search is really easy using time analysis option as well. You can do a time analysis for 60 minutes, 30, 15, 10, or even 5 and then 1 minute. So how exactly this helps you? You can see the time analysis will help you to identify if there is any peak in the number of events in your infrastructure. You can simply select the peak and you can see the events are filtered based on your selection so that you can identify which events are triggered from what device and if there is any kind of peak because of a specific reason. This will help you to do the analysis. And as I mentioned, the search using Logsign USO platform is really easy. You really don't need to know any kind of query language in order to perform search or in order to do any kind of correlation here. It is really easy, like searching something on Google. I just type the keyword, and here is where all of 3 million events. I've got 258,000 events categorized as attack events. You can see the list of events here. If you can simply click on one event, you will see all the information related to the source of the event. You can see information related to the destination, event map, information related to the event source, where exactly this event is coming from firewall. This is the description of your firewall. These are the details of the vendor, so that this will help you easily to do any kind of analysis. And again, as I mentioned, in case if there is any additional information related to this specific event, you can see all the information here. Now, out of 258,000 events categorized as attack events, I want to see attack events where this is the specific source IP. All I have to do is just click on the source IP, and you can see it is added to the search bar. You just click on search, and you will see the events are filtered. I've got 2,890 events with the specific source IP. Similarly, you can see the events with different colors and categories showing you different severity levels. Where I would like to say, I want to see the source IP attack events for the source IP and where the destination country is this. I just click on search and you can see the events are filtered based on my selection. So correlation is really easy. You can use all the information which is provided here. And this is the advantage of Logsign being a Hadoop embedded solution where all the information is provided to you in nested column architecture. Now, regardless of where the data is coming from, normalization in Logsign is done in a standard format. And you can use all this information in order to do any kind of correlation. You can use the attack ID and then click on search, and you can see the events are filtered here based on your selection. And then here you can use Boolean operators like and, or, not. You can use square braces, round braces, curly braces in order to write your own queries. And once you've written your queries, if you want to save it, you can simply go to the accounts option and you can save your mini queries. You just write your mini query, give it a name, and it will be saved so that you can reuse it. And here you can bring up the mini queries only using @sign, and you will see a list of predefined mini queries along with the mini queries that you have created. You can simply select a mini query, click on search, and it will help you to run the search here. If you want to see any of the events categorized as virus, just type the keyword and all the events are listed here. Similarly, if you want to see any kind of events categorized as malware events, you just type the keyword and all the events are filtered. If you want to see if any specific file was used in any specific event, just type the extension of the file and then you will see the list of events here. You can click on any of the event and see the details on what specific URL of the location this file was viewed. You can see the details of the source and exactly from where it is triggered from. You can see it is coming from the specific log source. And then apart from that, here you can use the smart filters in order to look for the events. You can see the top source IPs along with the account. Just select the source IP, click on search, and out of millions of events, you get events only for a specific source IP. You want to do any kind of correlation between a specific source and destination IPs. You just select the source and destination IPs, and out of millions of events, you get 17 events here for where this is the source IP and where this is the destination IP. Similarly, you can also filter the events for users and hosts as well. You can filter the events based on event map types. Maybe you want to see DNS events, user events, attack events, mail events, scam, malware, or virus events. Just click on search and the events will be filtered based on your selection. If you have multiple log sources integrated on the Logsign user platform and you want to see events coming from a specific vendor, you just select the vendor, click on search, and you will see the events are coming from the specific vendor. So this is how easy it is. Okay, do we have any questions here? Now, once the events are filtered, you can export the events to a report. Okay, you can create different reports like group, table, histogram, map, and more. And if you want to modify the result fields for the details of the events which are shown, you can add or remove the result fields from here. So once you have applied your filters, you can simply jump to the dashboard, and here is where you can see the default dashboard. You can see an all event time histogram for the last 24 hours with different categories of the events that are shown here. You can see the events categorized based on the context, like application event, analytics events, web attack events, security, object, system, or network events. You can see events categorized based on the types of event, like database events, attack events, user events, DNS events, session events, and more. Events categorized based on the actions, like login, logout events, access granted or denied event. All the information is available here. Here's where you will see total events, alerts for the last 6 hours, and critical events. If you want to access the events from the dashboard, maybe for attack events, just click on it and it will bring the list of events from the dashboard. Here's where you will see the list of events. And then apart from the main dashboard, these are the default dashboard. As I mentioned, the Logsign user platform offers the capabilities of a threat intelligence platform. So once you've enabled the Logsign threat intelligence here, you will see information related to TI here. You can see the threat intelligence analysis. Provides you information related to any kind of threat messages, suspicious intelligence severities, along with the IP address in the account. You can simply click on any IP and then bring up the list of events for the specific IP. You can also search for an IP here to see if it is listed in threat intelligence. Here is where you can customize the analytics on the dashboard. You can see the analytics for the last 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, until last 3 days, last week, or even last month. You can also do a complete threat intelligence overview here, providing you comprehensive information related to the actions performed on your firewall and also most active threat and source and destination countries, along with the map and names of the countries here. And then we've got the security suite here, analytics related to security suite. If you've integrated your endpoint protection software with Logsign, you will see detected virus file names here. Top infected sources along with the IP addresses. You can just click on any of them and get the list of events. You can see infected hosts and threat details, along with the top endpoint security events here. And these are the events that we were able to bring up from the dashboard itself. And there are other dashboards. If you've integrated your complete security suite, you can do a security overview from Logsign user platform, provides you information related to security activities, Risk by event sources, summary by severity, risky activity by source and destination countries, along with the map and names of the countries based on the events. Okay. And then there are other dashboards that are offered, like database controls, where you can do a complete analysis of the databases. You can see the kind of events that are performed, MSSQL type and actions. You can see the kind of statements that we run on the database, along with the details of the usernames here. And then there are other dashboards for Oracle database overview, identity management. You can do a complete identity overview for your Windows users coming from your LDAP. You can see top logon user attempts, logon by source IP, top logon failures, and logon failure by source IP, and other activities here. The other dashboards related to MITRE ATT&CK dashboard, you get network analytics here, you get file access control. You can see complete file shared activities. This will help you to fulfill any of your requirements for file integrity monitoring use cases. You can see the source name and the shared name and the object that was shared along with the source IP here. And with all these, you get an option to create your custom dashboard. It is really easy to create a custom dashboard here. You can configure your new dashboard, add a new category, and then you can create dashboards using 24 different widgets. Okay. Since we have completed the dashboard, I would like to show about the reports that are offered on our platform. We offer hundreds of reports on our platform for different vendors. They are readily available on our platform, and you can install these reports with a single click. All you have to do is select a plus sign. Okay, with a single plus sign, you can see a report will be installed. You can see if you want to install the reports for a specific vendor, you can just click on the plus sign and all the reports will be installed. And once the reports are installed, you can filter the reports based on the category, like general, custom, compliance, or vendor-specific report. You can filter the reports based on compliance, like you want to bring up reports related to FISMA, PCI DSS, ISO 27001, HIPAA, GLB, SOX, and more. So maybe I can try to generate a report here for deleted user events. I just click on the report, and then the report is made available here. And if you want, you can filter the timeline so that you can generate a report maybe for the last 24 events for the last 24 hours, or maybe events only for the last 6 hours. So the report, you can see, is modified based on your selection. You can filter the reports based on the smart filters which are available here. You can see the report made available for different users. If you want to create a report for a single user, you can select the user from here. Maybe for Natalie, we have only 7 events. And once the report is available, you can simply download it in PDF, Excel, CSV, or HTML format. Okay. So the report will be prepared in real time. So let us try to create a report here. And you can see the report which I'm preparing is being made available under the exported reports option. So you can see it is being prepared in real time. And once the report is available, I can download it to my system, or if I want, I can send an email to someone with this report. While the report is prepared, I would like to show you something else. You can also filter the reports based on different types of reports, like group report, table, histogram, map, correlated, plus, and more. Maybe you can select a map report and see top countries and all this information coming from the PF Sense. Okay, no data here. Let me try to bring up some more information. So here's where maybe you can see malware events, spyware, and virus events for top 50 countries. You can see the name and list of the countries along with the map and names of the countries here. So this is how easy it is. And once the report is exported, I believe it is ready now. You can download it to your system, or if you want, you can see it is completed. If you want, you can send an email to someone, or you can download it to your system here. Okay. Now, apart from this, you can schedule the reports. If you are performing the task of repeating, sending the reports again and again, you can schedule the reports. You can simply give a name to your report which you're sending. Maybe I'll say identity events. Select the data range today, yesterday, last week, or last month, or you can select custom day range here. Select the export type in Excel, CSV, PDF, or HTML format. How do you want to repeat the report? You want to repeat it once every day, every week, or every month? I'll say every day. Schedule, I can select the schedule. I want the report to be sent from tomorrow, maybe starting at this time. And these are the users who will receive the report. I'll send the expiry time for the reports. Maybe I want the report to expire after 3, 7, 14, or 30 days, or you can say disable, then come back and disable it later. So this will trigger a report named identity with all the identity events for data since yesterday in HTML format, and it will send a report every day at this time to all these users. So this is how you can schedule a report. And similarly, if you want to send multiple reports, maybe you want to send weekly report with VPN log off events and maybe any kind of malware events. Okay, you can simply keep adding the reports here, and then similarly select the data range and export type and repeat it Maybe I'll say every week on a Monday, I want the report to be sent at this time. So this is how you can schedule the multiple reports to different users, and you can also set the expiry just like we did for a single report. And then if you want to generate reports from the offline data, from the archive data, you can simply select new offline report, give a description to the report, write your query here, and select the time range. You can select the time range based on the requirement of the timeline from which you want to generate the report. And then you can select this option, notify when job is done, so that these users will be notified when the report is available. So yeah, this brings us to the end of the reports feature. What I would like to show you is the response capabilities of our platform. You can see the correlation is really easy with Logsign here. What I'm showing you is the second part. Once you have all the events coming on your platform, the events are categorized and correlation is done using 500 plus correlation rules which are predefined on the platform. You can simply enable them using a single click. You can see almost all the use cases which are defined here for excluded suspicious emails, excessive email receivers and senders, users downloading or hosts downloading large data in 1 hour, 2 hour, ICMP, post scanner, multiple logging failures. They're all defined here, with an option to create any correlation rule in the bucket based on your requirement. And then you've got the alert rules here. So we've got 200 plus alert rules, which are in line with MITRE ATT&CK and cyber kill chain framework for different categories. Like brute force, we've got different use cases covered here. Similarly, we have got it for collection, command and control, DDoS, honeypot, malware, persistence, reconnaissance, traffic vulnerability, and more. And even here, you have an option to create a new category for your security operations center and add new alert rule based on your requirement. Now, let me show you how exactly you can perform fully automated actions from the Logsign user platform in case if there is any kind of alert that is triggered. As I mentioned, that this platform also offers you the capabilities apart from SIEM. You can perform, you get the capabilities of threat intelligence, UEBA, and capabilities to perform fully automated and semi-automated actions to deal with any kind of threat and vulnerability. All you have to do is just go to the action rules and click on the option to create a new action rule here. You can see some of the action rules which are defined here. You can see for all these alerts from different categories, the action that is defined here is to use trapmine and shut down the computer. Okay. However, in order to create your own action rules, you can simply just click on the option to add the alert rule. And then maybe I'll give a name to the alert rule and define the kind of alerts for which I want to define the action. So maybe for brute force attack, just type the keyword and I'll select all the alerts which are available on my platform for these specific category. I click on next, and once the alerts are selected, here's where you can define the kind of action that you want to perform. So for brute force attack, maybe a standard practice would be to disable the user. So what I'm doing, these are my response integrations. You can see abuse IP, you've got email, you've got your LDAP, firewall, they're all here. So I'm using my LDAP integration, and I'm saying that in case of brute force alert that is identified, I want to identify the source username from where the brute force attack is happening, and then disable the user on LDAP. So I want to disable it temporarily or permanently. I can say that. Okay. Now, first action is decided. Now, the second action that I want to define, maybe I want to use trapmine, and I'll say enable network isolation for the host where the attack is being identified. Destination host name, user ID. I'll say select the ID or the information related to the user from the event itself. Okay. And define the kind of action. So the first action in case of brute force alerts that can be performed, the user will be disabled on LDAP. The second action, the network isolation, will be enabled for the host using trapmine. And maybe if I want to send an email to my team members to notify them about the specific alert, I can select the users, click on submit, and I can also mention other users here. So this is how you can keep defining the kind of action. As I mentioned, you can send a message to your team members on Telegram, send an SMS, or perform any actions here. So you always have an option to come back and modify the action rules. You can add or delete any action rules based on your requirement. Okay. Any questions here so far? Looks like we don't have any questions, so we'll jump to the incident management option. So as I mentioned, there could be some incidents where you want to do any kind of analysis, and after, based on your analysis, you want to take any kind of action. So here's where you can do the incident management. Just like we filtered the events, you can also filter the incidents based on your requirement from here, based on a timeline. You can also see the timeline of the incidents and do the analysis based on the timeline. You can also filter the incidents based on the status, like you want to see open or closed incidents. You want to see incidents categorized as low, medium, high, critical priority. Based on category, you want to see what kind of incidents, maybe malware, traffic, threat, identity, reconnaissance, and more, which are available now. Based on owners, these are your team members who are working on the incident. You can simply select an owner, click on search, and you will see all the incidents where this specific owner is working on. Okay. And based on the contributors, again, contributors are also your team members who are added as contributors on any incidents. So here's a list of incidents. You can see the details of the incident. The number is nothing but the count of incidents. If more than one incidents are triggered from the same action object, you will see the incident count will increase, which means that all the incidents will be grouped together so that you don't have to deal with different incidents for the same action object. You can see the priority, you can see the risk score, status, and the owner details. So let us try to open an incident and see how exactly we can perform semi-automated actions based on the analysis. So here's where we have a case that says threat intelligence host connection to internal network detected. So it says that this is an IP address that is identified on my threat intelligence platform, which is trying to connect to internal network. And you can see here's the admin owner. You can do a delegation for your team members so that you can assign this incident to your team members. If you want to add any of your team members as contributor to this incident, you can add their name from here. And here is where you can see the incident lifecycle, which is in line with the NIST incident response framework. So at every stage, based on the action that I'm performing, you will see a progress here. And once the incident is resolved, you can close it from here. You can give a reason and add your comment from here. Here's where you can see the risk score assigned to this specific incident. You can see the incident count along with the artifacts. So it says that there is one host and 3 IP addresses. You can see the details here. This is a host. These are the IP addresses which are related as artifacts to this incident. If you know some more information related to this specific IP addresses, maybe you can add these artifacts. You can add a user, host, URL, IP file, or hash. So I'll say I know that this IP is used by my user, David. I can simply enter the details here, and you can see the artifact is recorded, and you can see the user and host details are also made available. If any of the incident is using a MITRE ATT&CK technique, you can see the information in the MITRE ATT&CK table here. And if you want to add a comment to your team member in order to collaborate with them, you can simply type your comment here. Here's where you can see the actions that are performed. You can see other information related to the incident. You can see the alert time, and you can see same incident triggered from the same source IP. So this is why we are seeing the incident count as 3. And here's where you can see intelligence map is showing me the source countries where it says that this IP address that is identified in threat intelligence is originating from this specific country. You can see the activities, events related to this specific source IP and the destination IPs where it is trying to visit, and the activity related to the source IP and destination IP. You can see the trigger alert along with the timestamp. You can see this specific alert is triggered for an event that is coming from the specific vendor or the specific log source. Now, in order to do the remediation, you can simply use the magic button here, the quick action button, and you will see the response integrations made available here. So maybe in this case, my threat intelligence says that this is an IP address with a bad risk score. Let me ask virus total and do a cross verification. I'll say get the IP reputation. I just click on submit, and without moving away from my platform, virus total will provide me information. You can see the action was run by me. You can see the timestamp here. And here is where you can see 14 out of 89 people say that this is an IP address with a bad risk score. And here it also says this specific IP is originating from this country. And yes, rightly, my threat intelligence also said the same thing. Maybe I want to double check it with a different service provider. I want to ask Aruba virus controller. Maybe I want to use abuse IP here. Okay, I'll simply say abuse IP to get me the IP reputation. Just submit it, and yes, abuse IP also says that this is originating from this country. This IP is originating from this country, and 100% risk score. So now, based on my analysis, I can use my firewall in order to block this IP address in order to complete the mitigation here. So I just say block the IP address on the firewall. Maybe I want to block it temporarily until I do any internal analysis. Or if I want, I can block it permanently. So this is how you can perform semi-automated actions in order to do the remediation. So far, we have seen the settings feature, we have seen dashboard, we have seen search, we have seen reports and incident. The last feature which I would like to show you is the UEBA feature. So UEBA is really easy with Logsign. In order to get the details of your users and the asset, you need to first integrate your LDAP here. So LDAP server will be integrated within responses. You just click on the option to configure and provide your LDAP server details. And then here, there's absolutely no limit on the number of LDAP servers that you can integrate. And once the LDAP server is integrated, you just go to the enrichment and synchronize the assets. So this will collect all the information of your assets coming from your LDAP server. Similarly, you can also synchronize the identities, and it will get the details of the users from your LDAP server. Now, as I demonstrated earlier, based on these behaviors that are performed by the users and the asset, the risk score will be assigned to them. And here's where you can see comprehensive information related to the users and the assets in the UEBA feature. So here's where you can see the total number of users coming from your LDAP, total number of devices, and the incidents which are created for them. Here is where you will see metrics of instance and behavior for the last 1 week with a time interval of 15 minutes. So if there is any time interval highlighted in blue, you can see that, you can understand that there is a behavior. If the time intervals are highlighted in orange or red, you can say that there are some incidents which are created during this specific timeline. You can access the incidents from here itself. If you scroll down, you can see the top notable users and the top notable devices based on their risk score. Here's the total risk score and the risk trend, whether it is increasing or decreasing. If you click on the users, you will be able to see the current risk score and the risk trend and the total risk score. If you just click on any of the user, you will see all the information related to this user coming from your LDAP server. It will show you the total number of events created for this user, total number of incidents, total number of devices where this user was active, along with all this information. And presently, we don't have any of the behaviors identified for this user. And if there are any behaviors identified, you can see them within the timeline. And then, apart from this, you also get to see the incident and behavior timeline here until the last 1 week. That will help you to identify and understand how exactly the risk score is calculated for the users as well as for the devices. So here's are the 2 incidents that we were able to bring up from the UEBA. So this is where you get comprehensive information that will help you to fulfill any of your use cases for the UEBA from the same platform. Do we have any questions before we jump to explain the SciFusion architecture? So what I will be doing now, since we are done with the demonstration of the Logsign USO platform, for our MSSP partners, I would like to explain the architecture of the SciFusion platform, and then I will move to the SciFusion demo itself, where we can complete it in 10 minutes and show you how you can manage different customers of yours and how exactly the SciFusion platform offers multi-tenancy capabilities. So before we proceed further, I would like to know if there are any questions. Evelina, do we have any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So we can jump to the
I hope you can see the architecture on my screen now.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So for our MSSP partners, what we are offering is a Logsign SciFusion platform, which has multi-tenancy capabilities. So using this Logsign SciFusion platform, you will be able to manage different customers from your security operations center. As you can see, the architecture is really easy and simple. Here is where you will deploy the Logsign USO platform, which I demonstrated just now for your different customers. And here you will complete the integration of the data sources and the response sources. So now we are also addressing one business case here where most of your customers will say, we want to get the MSSP, we want to get service from an MSSP. However, we want to retain all the data on our instance for any kind of data privacy regulations or any kind of data sovereignty related use cases. So here you can see all the data, all the events related to this specific customer. The normalization is done here, the correlation will be done here, and the data will be at their instances. Now, as a Logsign MSSP, as an MSSP using Logsign SciFusion platform, you don't get overwhelmed with a lot of data coming from your different customers. Because at your platform, which you will be using as an MSSP, that is the Logsign SciFusion platform, you only get the actionable items in the form of incidents. And when you get the incidents, you will be able to use the platform security orchestration, incident case management, incident response capabilities in order to trigger any kind of responses to deal with any kind of threat or vulnerability that is encountered at your customer instances. So it is really easy. You just have to deploy the Logsign USO platform for your customers and then integrate it with the Logsign SciFusion platform, which you will be using as an MSSP at your security operations center. Okay, so all you have to do is only ensure that there is connectivity between your Logsign USO platform that is used by your customer and the Logsign SciFusion platform. And what we have seen based on our experience by our MSSP partners, most of our partners are deploying the Logsign SciFusion on a private cloud so that there's no issue for the customer instances to connect with the Logsign SciFusion platform, which you will be using as an MSSP. What you're seeing now in the dark theme is actually the Logsign SciFusion platform from where you can manage different customers, and this offers you multi-tenancy capabilities. Okay. Now, how exactly you need to do the integration of your Logsign SciFusion USO platform customers to the SciFusion platform? If you look at the responses, you have the SciFusion integration made available here. Just click on configure, give a name, and maybe you can just say my MSSP. Okay, this is your MSSP name that is your providing for your customers. Give a URL of the SciFusion platform that is used by you, and the integration will be completed from the Logsign USO platform of your customer. Let's call it an edge. So the integration from the edge is completed. Now, at the SciFusion platform, which you will be using, the integration needs to be done for your customers. So for that, you just go to the organizations and click on the option to add. You just give the name of your customer and provide the Logsign host ID of the customer, which you are adding on your SciFusion platform. So where do you get the host ID from? You get the host ID from the system, and under licenses, you have an option. You get the host ID, and this host ID is unique for all your different customers. And all you have to do is just give the name of your customer and provide their host ID and click on save, and the integration is done. And once the integration is done, you can see you will have a lot of incidents coming from your different customers on your platform. These are nothing but the actionable items. And here we have seen all these capabilities on the Logsign USO platform some time back. However, as an MSSP, here you get an additional filter in order to filter the incidents for different customers. So out of 12,145 incidents, I want to see the incidents for the specific customer. I just click on search, and you see the incidents. What you're seeing now are only for the specific customer. So here's where you can simply click on the option to filter the incidents. Maybe out of all these incidents, I want to see the open incidents. So 0 open incidents for this customer. Okay. So maybe I want to see any other open incident. Here's where I can use the response integrations, just like which we did for our customers for our response integrations for the customer instances. You can use the integrations which are made available for this customer and perform the remediation from here. And even on the SciFusion platform, if you're creating the action rules for your different customers, you can create different action rules for different customers based on the response integrations that are available at their edges, which means that for the same alert, you can have different action rules created for different customers based on the response integrations that are available with them. You can see a list of customers here. So if I select this customer, you can see there is a change in the list of response integration. And this is because we are providing the response integrations that are available at the customer premise. And based on this, you will see a change here in the list of response integrations for different customers. You just select the customer, and you'll see a list of the response integrations if they are available here. Okay. Now, you also have the capability here in order to see different categories within the dashboard that we are offering for the MSSP partners. You can see the MSS security alerts and incidents overview. Here's where you can filter the dashboard even for different customers. You just type the name of your customer, and then you select the name of your customer, and the dashboards will be filtered for your customer. So here, dashboards are also completely customizable. And if you want, you can do your team's performance. You can see the agent's performance here. If you want to see if there are any kind of open or incidents, or open or closed incidents, you can simply do it from here. Okay. You can also monitor the performance of the use case managers, or even the team's performance can be also seen from here. So these are different dashboards. And again, here we have capabilities made available so that if you want, you can create a custom dashboards based on your requirement. So just like the USO platform, which I demonstrated some time back, the Logsign SciFusion platform also offers the same capabilities, However, here the capabilities are completely managed for different customers. And this platform offers you the multi-tenancy capabilities. You don't need any kind of VPNs, no complex architecture. You can simply complete the integration of your Logsign site, USO platform integration of your customer with the SciFusion platform, which you will be using as an MSSP, and get all the actionable items from your customers on the Logsign USO platform in a very easy and quick manner. Yeah. So I think this brings us to the end of today's webinar. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask me. Evelina, you want me to stop the recording now?
No, we can just because you finished like all that you have to show.
Exactly.
Yes,
So if there are any questions, I'm ready to answer the questions.
Okay, so you can just wait. Maybe some questions will appear, but I will also share a screen for a second. I just want to share an information with our partners. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so thank you very much for your presentation. I'll switch to Polish for a bit because I had to share.
Please go ahead.
Okej, to dziękujemy bardzo. O, już tutaj. Tak, dobra. Dziękujemy bardzo za wysłuchanie i za przyjście na naszą prezentację. Także kończąc powiem tylko, że za tydzień 26 października organizujemy drugi webinar przedstawiający produkt Logsign, ale teraz już wersję dla użytkowników końcowych. Także zapraszam, dostaną Państwo na maila szczegółowe informacje na ten temat i mogą Państwo zaprosić swoich klientów, aby przekonali się, jak dany program wygląda, jak działa. Tak, i w razie wszelkich dodatkowych pytań, które mogą pojawić się po webinarze, czy też jeżeli chcieliby Państwo otrzymać ofertę, zapraszam do kontaktu, czy też poprzez naszą stronę internetową security.com lub tutaj też widzą Państwo podanego maila. Chyba że już też Państwo z nami bezpośrednio rozmawiają, czy też ze mną, czy z koleżanką Anastazją, albo z Pawłem, także też śmiało można się tutaj prywatnie kontaktować. A także jeszcze raz dziękuję za wysłuchanie i za poświęcony czas. Jeżeli teraz się jeszcze pojawią, no to śmiało też pytania, to śmiało też można tutaj pytać jeszcze naszego kolegi z Logsign, także dziękuję bardzo.